morning everybody. I'm just killing the music there. Welcome to another stream and welcome to a gorgeous, very wet, very rainy, nice cold summer day, but still gorgeous and wonderful. Because we need the rain and we need the water and all the other things that goes with that. And I hope you guys are going to enjoy the stream with us. Mick Drying and Uncle John is here with me. Guys, good morning.
Good morning, Nathan.
Alright, so this morning we're just going to do a quick hop. We're going to do the Stansted to Dublin route. I was honestly expecting a little bit more cloud and rain and everything else. If I look at the depiction, oh, it's changed. Well, okay, I've been watching this depiction for a while now, and it was so cool this morning. We had rain and all kinds of things here, and now it's cleared up. I can't believe it. Look at it. Nothing here. So, anyway, then we'll just make the best of it. Let's open our doors. I hope you guys had a good week, and you will also have a good rest of your weekend that lies ahead. Let's start loading. And I'm also starting my client, which is going to be a mess, because you know why? I need to fly a Ryanair livery. Let's cancel that flight. We will restart it. Now let's just quickly change our livery.
No, you can change the livery without having to do a restart.
Yeah, correct. There we go. That's what I want. The only difference now is now we're in a different aircraft. So let's see how it works, because I'm going from 4K to 2K now. Damn. Let's see.
Yeah, will be a restart.
Yeah, I'll probably just have to call those ground crew guys again and just open the doors, and then we're back to square one. So let's quickly drag Paul in here. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, Nico. Good morning, everybody.
Morning, Paul.
Morning, Paul.
Morning, Mac, John.
It looks as if I'm following another aircraft.
Very possible, Uncle John. Very possible.
And it's spraying horrible chemicals at you to try and...
Hey, Alex.
There's somebody else in the FBO as well, Christian.
Oh. Oh, there's Christian now.
Hello.
Good morning, good morning.
Hello.
Morning.
Hello, everybody.
Morning.
I'm just reading a message quickly. Right, that's taken care of. Alright, so let's start again, guys. Don't know if you noticed, I've got some Ryanair liveries for the ground crew. Found that on the org. The bus would also be Ryanair. I'm not sure why the catering trucks are not, but anyway, whatever. Hello, Stefan and Albapino. Good morning. Yeah, wet and rainy Belgium. Man, I was hoping to have a wet and rainy Stansted. I was watching the weather here and it looked so good. And then the moment I spawned in here, I see with the latest weather update, it's not England anymore. It looks like a different country for me. But anyway, we'll take it as it comes. Right, so let's get loaded. Let's get going.
It's a lovely scenery.
Yeah. This particular scenery is from UK 2000. It's Payware, but I put the link to the TDG freeware ones for both this airport as well as Dublin in the notes below the video. So guys, if you want, you can grab it there, the freeware ones. Obviously, if you want the UK 2000 one, you can just go buy that as well. Right, we wanted to start the flight in the client, so now that is done as well, and I'm happy with that. Let's get our Synthetix Pro open and start loading these guys. And that's kilograms, so we're happy. And fuel with basics. Alright, I've still got it on my test scenario test settings, so I'm not going to use that at this point. But anyway, here we go. GPU, better pushback.
Oh, Dublin approach.
Ground to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you're ready.
Sorry, you're very soft, Matai. I didn't hear a word you said there.
I said the Dublin approach was quite interesting. They'll probably be using 1.6.
Below 20 knots crosswind, it's still 9 to 8. And then there's another component to it. I was reading it this morning. Let me quickly get that for you.
Yeah, I know. Predominantly we use 2.8.
Okay, when we're in the air, we can look at that. Let's not waste time.
No, hurry up.
Yes, I did that. GPU, that's fine. Right. I was playing with some of the settings in the week. There was a post on the forum, and you know what? I think I never answered it. I'm pretty sure someone else did. But in the tablet, I'm not sure if you guys have actually seen it or had any use for it, but I've been playing with the save load situations where you go to your manage state presets. So basically what I did was I went to my overhead and I flicked a couple of the switches like standby power. It wasn't saved in the off position, but now it is. So the little guard is lifted, you've got the battery obviously is lifted, and then we've got the bus transfer that's lifted. So I was just playing around, and then the other one I did was the flight recorder. And so basically the idea is you set your switches, then you come here and then you set your save, your cold and dark switch state. Then you can also have your different presets for different liveries or different scenarios actually in the same livery. So if you're flying in America or Europe, they will be different. So you get it, then you restore it by just clicking the load button, and that will obviously put all the switches now in the place where you saved it. And one of the things that I've been toying with, and somewhere, somehow, in that whole process, I actually got it to not enable my marker. The thing is, I'm not sure whether it was a Zibo update that you know, has now stopped the marker from being on by default, or whether it was actually me. These ones I know I set, because your Zibos will not have these things set, but I find it kind of interesting to just play around with this, you know, also around to see what came up. And so now I've got a couple of extra switches and things I need to, you know, get back in place before I can actually start going. You know, just give me a little bit more to do.
Guys, the wheels on board.
Right, guys, if you need me to talk a little bit more, explain something, just feel free to ask. Don't be shy. I'm just obviously continuing as is. Get the bird in air.
Well, I suppose I could mention that if anybody out there wants to do any crosswind work, the UK is the place. Tomorrow, some very strong winds forecast.
Wow, okay. We might do another flight then.
I do have a question with regards to crosswind final approach speed. I know that is a little bit different from the initial approach speed. Do you half that? I know some pilots half it or add 1 or 2 knots. Is there any official formula that or any spreadsheet that we can work on?
Christian, Google, not sure. Not sure. I always, depending on the speed, stick to either the +5 or the +10. I don't reduce it. To reduce it is dangerous, because if you get a gust and the next moment there's no wind, you're going to get in trouble. So
I believe there's an option at the EFD so that your wind on the EFD you can have it show as a vertical or
horizontal.
in front of wind, and then you take into account just the wind in your longitudinal axis. You can get the crosswind component as long as it's within limits of setting the rep speed.
Yeah, I'm now looking at this departure, and this departure is nothing like what I see on the charts. I promise you, this is weird. Really weird. I think there's a bit of a problem with this departure. This will be a Navigraph data issue. Strange, man.
I'm just looking, Christian, for where you changed it.
I understand it's more like for the approach on landing, for the final approach speeds, that's what I'm concerned with.
Yeah. What it does, instead of showing you a direction on the wind speed, it breaks it down to a horizontal and a vertical
Yeah.
component.
Okay, interesting. Because I see some pilots on the fly real world, they actually add 1 or 2 knots on the approach speed. It's quite interesting.
Well,
Need
guys,
to-
yeah, I had that chart up there. I think you would have seen it briefly there. This is weird. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to fix it manually because this is like seriously weird. There's no doubles or anything. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to just take out some of the stuff and then let's see, because somewhere, there's some other stuff. I don't know why that is in there. 170. There's UTAVA.
Go back to your departure. Did you pick a transition point?
No, there is none. There is none.
Okay.
Oh, it's a challenge. We'll take the challenge. We're not too worried, but it just looks so funny. So, let's see if that might have fixed it now. There you go. I had to re-choose. Okay, so what happened? Let me give you guys the lowdown. Maybe this will be to someone else's benefit who watches the stream at some other time as well. Alright, so that is our flight route. Alright, and it's obviously got the standard instrument departure in there, and that's where we had the issue. Then what I do is I basically go to flights and I export the flight straight from Navigraph, and I then go to the company route and I import it. So in that process somewhere it seems something went wrong, because when I then went back to the departure arrival page, cleared the SID that was preloaded and then selected it by myself manually again, it's obviously now fixed the problem. So if any of you ever face that, that's a good tip, you know, try that. It seems to work.
That's interesting, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, first time in my life I've had this. Abhishek, I'm from Johannesburg, South Africa. The rest of the guys are all over the world, my friend, all over. Let's step through this. Right, yeah, that's workable. Right. Me and Uncle John were talking about it. Uncle John, if you are here, this is the thing we talked about earlier today, where I said you might want to just go directly from BAGSO to that Kogax, and then just cut out that little part over there. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So we're gonna go from Kogax. We're gonna put Kogax in the scratch pad. Then we're gonna go to that one. We're just gonna straighten. Yeah, there you go. Now we just got a more straighter path to come in. If you were flying online with ATC, they would probably have given you vectors anyway. So there's that's just a way to get rid of that funny twist and turn there. And then we need to look at this hold. We don't want the hold there. Alright, so we've got Lampo and then with the hold. That's what I'm gonna do. So I'm going to get rid of the hold as well and execute. Right, so we have got a more straight approach and we don't have a hold anymore, and we just quickly edited those things out and then we can continue. I think I'm happy with that trip. That's perfect. Let's get weights and stuff sorted. Let's see. So takeoff weight 66.8. So we've got about, what's it, 300 kilograms more. So that should take care of the taxi fuel and the APU burn fuel and things like that. So that's well within the limits. Our zero fuel weight is 61.1, and I want to tell you guys a quick story. If you guys go to the SimBrief forum, you will actually see that I did log a fault with them. SimBrief, I actually found that they were doing the calculations incorrectly. Not sure how long they've been doing it incorrectly, but I pointed it out to them and they actually fixed it, and I'm thoroughly impressed with them. If anybody from SimBrief watches this, thank you very much for reacting and actually fixing it for us, because I noticed in all my test flying that all of a sudden I don't get a balanced weight anymore. It was just out, and so thank you guys. That has been fixed in terms of the passenger and baggage load weights. That is where the error was, so that's good. All done. Right, our yeah. Yeah, Uncle John, we need to come closer to your mic. It is nice to get the service. Yes, I was thoroughly impressed. The guys were really fast, really good.
Apologies for that.
Nice. I'm just going to take 1.7 for reserves. We're going to take 6 on the cost index, and we said, what was this flight altitude? 340. 340. Alright, so we've got an outside air temperature of only 6, so we need to take any moisture into account. I think we saw earlier there wasn't really anything. I'm gonna do a derated takeoff, and let's derate to about 31 degrees. That should be fine. On the takeoff we'll use flaps 5. Get our CG. Wow, look at that trim. That's a lot.
That is more than usual, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot more than usual. My runway slope will be downhill 0.2 heading, and we set 6 on the outside air temperature. Let's do a cutback takeoff. We'll be gentle with those aunties with the curlers in the air, you know, still waking up early in the morning, don't want to disturb them, so that's fine. And there you go, we're done. 147, 625. Wow. I don't think I've ever had 625. I'm guessing that's about right.
Mind you, you're very heavy with the light fuel.
It's possible. It's possible.
So if you, how many packs have you got?
Now you're asking me to see. 149.
I've never seen that CG before.
It does make sense.
Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry too much about it. I'm not used to it, so it was a bit of a shock, but it's okay. It's okay.
Is that are those passengers from the load sheet
OFB,
or
yeah.
from?
OFB.
Because sometimes if you do from the FMC, it differs.
Well,
Just as thought as an option, if you go to your load page in your fuel and payload, have a look at what the distribution of your packs is like at the moment.
there you go.
No, yeah. Right, go to page 4.
That's all standard.
Go to page 4.
Oh, yeah. Give it time. I'm there already on my side. Sorry.
Right. Page 3. What I was trying to do is look at the chart bit. No, page 3.
Dimitri, no, that is a mistake. I actually put it up to what is it, 20, 25. It's on something like that, or 20 actually. It's on 20. That bank angle over there is absolutely irrelevant when we are flying on the autopilot. The autopilot cancels it out completely. You can have it anyway. The only time that comes into play is when you are flying on heading select. That's the only time that will have any relevance, so just remember that as well. And Abhishek, yes, you can enter those values, but I obviously just make use of the template that's already there, so I just take the values presented. Are you happy with that loading? It looks fine, McDrawing. It shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, I think it's predominantly because you've got full hats all along the length of the cabin. You've got very light fuel load.
Yeah, possible. So anyway, in Zibo, I trust for the calculations, and we're just going to use it as that. If it becomes a problem, we'll tell the boss. We'll tell him.
But if you look to the CFG on that, it's 19, which is low compared with normally.
Yes.
Normally talking 20 to 24.
Yes. 014. Are we going to use, that's a good question, which one did we plan for? We're going to use 22. Just want to make sure we've got the right reading here. The wind is 220 at 7 knots. 220 at 7 knots. I just want to load my flight plan to my active sky as well. 340 flight level, refresh. Go to map, yes, we're tracking Albapino. There's a couple of reasons why you can't track it sometimes. Sometimes that line is not connected to the runway, so there is a discontinuity whether you see it or not. Sometimes it's, you know, the SID starts off airport. Sometimes you didn't complete the FMC correctly. Things like that. Good morning, Kevin. Good morning, Steve. It's a combination that you enter. Let me get it on the screen for you guys. I'll show you quickly. Right, so when we go to our fuel section, it's basically those two values. So it's the alternate plus your final reserve, which will be 1532 plus 1076, and those two combined is what's generally used for your reserve fuel calculations. Right. Let's see. I think we've done most of everything. Let us welcome our people on board.
Ladies and gentlemen from the flight deck, welcome aboard our flight today. We're wrapping up the final paperwork here to get you on your way momentarily. I want to thank you so much for your company and business. We invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Again, welcome aboard.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Flight attendants prepare for departure. Cross-check and all call. Thank you.
All right, we've got
I
everyone
need to
strapped in.
double check
Give us
the
a ring if you need
landing
anything.
altitude quickly, which will be 250. Good guess.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Yes, please do that. Dimitri, it's because it is different for each user, there can't be a library. So what happens is every time you add or remove scenery, the Zibo needs to rebuild the nav database. The same goes for your AirAC cycle. The moment you update it, it is obliged to obligated to actually build that database. So there's no way I can give you my one or you yours to me because of the different sceneries that we use. I mean, you can try. The Zibo will probably anyway discern that there is a discrepancy between your file and its contents and what I need. So it's just gonna rebuild it when it picks up one of the changes, it will rebuild. Right, are we within limits? What on earth happened there? Woo! Circus. There we go. Yeah, we are within limits. Right, so we can push. There we go.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Now you just can't see the pushback truck that I actually use. The other one is probably, that's the default explain
Operation
one.
complete. Set parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Pushback trying.
Cell is disconnected and bypass pin has been
Yes.
removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
This guy's talking in my ears, the pushback guy. I see there was a post on the forum regarding the incorrect values once you go past DR1. I haven't followed up on it, but I see that somebody was also asking if it's possible to get the correct values, you know, and to actually do the test correctly on the OBS. I just thought I'd mention.
Well, it was the same as I noted some time ago. It's never been corrected.
Yeah, I see it's not been corrected, but I've also not gone back to that post to check if anybody actually answered the thing. Right, so standard
it's just
procedure.
Not sharing the load across TR1
Yeah.
and TR2. It's all on one channel.
Yeah, let's do our flight control tests. There we go, all done. Waiting for flux 5. We have no precipitation, so we're not worried about icing or anything right now. Right, I think we're all set. Let's go. Welcome aboard, everybody. Hang tight. We are gonna go for a bit of a roller coaster ride.
When we get airborne, I'll come back to you about that wind indication on the MD.
Okay.
Because I may have been wrong. I'm going through the APCOM at the moment.
Flight attendants prepare for takeoff, please.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Thank you for the note, Uncle John.
Pleasure. I'm actually not going to be too far behind you.
Okay, that sounds good. I will throw out some chemtrails so you can spot me easy in the sky, okay?
Bless you, sir. It doesn't give you any more chance of chocolate, so don't even go there.
Ah, oh,
I wondered how long I've been refused to use that word. I wondered how long it would appear today.
the chocolate thing. Me and Uncle
Approaching
John and my wife had a
2-2.
big laugh this morning already. He actually instructed her not to even let me smell the chocolates that he brings.
On runway 22.
He actually tried blackmailing. I said, well, that's all right. I'll leave the hand luggage behind.
That's when I had to shut up. Right, my flight director helper is off. Right, so that's fine. I see Zibo did fix it, so you can save it. But mine's off. I only use it for training, so let's see. Let's see how good I am without it.
You're going to teach.
I'm eating chocolate as we speak.
Ah, shush. Nasty.
80 knots.
Rather yummy.
I know chocolate's not bad.
V1 for takeoff.
And if you look, when we was looking at that low check, the CFD is very far forward. Because what you got to remember is that the fuel isn't coming from the CFD. So, a lot of fuel.
That makes lots of sense, mate.
It's one of those things, if you play around with fuel levels, it makes sense.
It helps to have a visual cue, you know, to see something physically in terms of a picture or a graph or something. Right, we've just gone through that cutback. It's now getting spool up and going again.
If it ever concerns you, you could tweak taking some part out of the rear fold.
Yeah, that's also good. Not a bad watch if you get it right in the MMC, eh?
Blind the dispatcher.
I forgot to set my ET, so let's just set it from here. Oops. Dimitri, this is my own ortho, and I think it's the color matching is about the source. This comes from a specific source that gave me good color matching. So I just played around until I found someone that, one of the sources that really worked. And I can't remember which one this is now, by the way. So that's why I'm not saying the name. I can't remember. But whichever one I settled on, because I obviously did test runs, saw what happened, didn't like something, just go back and redo it. It obviously had a better set of pictures to use. Trying, Paul. I said to Uncle John this morning, I did not know this, but Dan, the developer from Sim Toolkit Pro,
Yeah.
I actually saw he is in our Zibo Pilots group, a member as well. He actually commented there on somebody's post this morning.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, very nice. Probably don't see him very often because he's busy doing the Sim Toolkit stuff.
I like this new update that was released. On a previous release, one of them, can't remember which one, I actually lost one of my flights because I clicked in the wrong place. And I made a similar, not exactly the same mistake, but a similar mistake. And I actually went back to the flight summary and then my flight detail was then back again, and I was really impressed. I like to have a little bit of redundancy in the system, so if you press the wrong place or wrong button, it doesn't just throw it away outright like it did in the past. Because for me that's the biggest advantage of this new version.
Yeah, that's important. Everybody's pressed their own button.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking when you do the whole flight and you get to the end and whoops, all the data's gone.
Right, just to Chris was
Gotcha.
or happens out.
Awesome, Uncle John. See Dimitri, there is a dial that's now gone out of whack again. A couple of years ago when we started building autos in FSX, we started showing you guys how to do that. I learned very quickly how to get the camera angles correct, you know, because if you want to brag about something with something, it's very important. You need to be in that position and not so much in that position, because it's inevitable you're going to find a chap that's going to say, but look at that nasty patch there, what's wrong there? So we learned early on to take nice screenshots at the right angle. You know, it's like models, you know, take the makeup off, they don't look the same. You know, standing the wrong way, you see the big bellies, whatever, you know what I mean? It's just, you know, you need to know how to take screenshots, take the photos.
Oh. This scene is controlled by many artists, not just one.
Yeah.
When we were filling in all the coloured squares, he was using palettes.
Yeah, or some weed or something to help him along, you know. There was definitely third party influence. Yeah. Look, I mean, in the reality now, jokes aside, the satellites do not take the pictures all in one go. Some of them gets taken in summer, some of them in winter, some of them, you know, depending on where you talk about on the Earth. You know, that's why it's difficult. Why? It costs a lot of money to get guys like Orbix to go and sit and color correct these things. Yeah. No, you've got to have the aptitude for it. It doesn't sit in anybody's pants to just go and grab Photoshop and, you know, spend 3 months fixing a few tiles. Be dedicated to have that in you, to want to do that. I can't do that. It drives me nuts.
I wonder what that feature is down there.
Go back there. Yeah, I was wondering myself. Looks like a raceway. It's definitely a test track.
Before it's when the test cars were constructed, off the road to the front.
I see. Given, I don't know. I would think in theory, the Orbix Bayware stuff should be better than Ortho, because, like we just said, somebody painstakingly sat there and fixed everything. I, at the time when those things were released, did not have the money to buy them, you know, so I skipped them and then I started making my own orthos. And now that I've got the orthos, it's kind of like I don't need True Earth anymore. So that's how I look at it. But I suppose it would be better to buy it if you don't have anything instead of making your own.
Well, the wind's picking up by the looks of it.
I missed that. Oh yes, I don't know if you guys caught on this, but it was sent to me. The wind will not display its less than 6 knots. I don't know what they mean. It's why it's not displayed there, but about 6 knots.
Millbrook vehicle 2.
Thanks, mate.
Dimitri, you should speak up long time ago. Let's bring it down a little bit. Tell me to stop, alright? I've dropped it considerably. Tell me if that helps you, and then we can also drop it here. I hope that's better. Let me know. Oh, you guys mustn't be shy. You must tell me, because this is new broadcasting software, and anything can happen. I mean, I haven't really battle tested it. I haven't done that many streams on it yet.
Okay, that's a comment I'll raise. When you first started the stream, your introduction music was blaringly loud.
That's weird.
What I'm going to say is I have a default and I've got your volume sort of slider at the bottom on your YouTube stream in mid-position. But for your intro music, it was very overpowered.
That's weird, because I play that from my browser, because it comes directly from the provider. So that means that my browser volume is too loud. But what I've done is in the broadcasting software, I've pulled the desktop audio, the stuff that would fall under the engines and all these external sounds, as well as that intro music. I've brought it down to, what is this, minus 30 decibel, and it was like at minus 20, so I dropped about 10 decibels there. I hope it's better. It sounds like you guys like it more, so. And the funny thing is, which I have also found, is if you fly the Airbuses, everything changes again. So you've got to kind of keep track and make note of, now today you're flying Zibo, tomorrow it's Tollus or Jar Design, and each one has got their own setting to broadcast, because they've each got their own sound system.
Doing a bit of sideways flying now.
Probably. Yeah, look at the deflection there. It is. That's where the nose is pointing, and that's the track 229 that it's following. So it's a couple of degrees off. Let's draw a line there. You can see it's grabbing quite a bit.
And the really strong winds coming tomorrow, so that should be interesting.
Yeah. Dimitri, letting the Zibo do the testing for you is the easy way, my friend. If you have to go and check each chart manually, you will never fly X-plane again because there's more than 8,900 discrepancies. And for you to manually check 8,900 discrepancies will first of all be a total waste of time, and secondly drive you completely insane. It's much easier to let the Zibo just build that database for you. It takes 3 minutes or so on my system, then it's done. Hey Jose, thank you my friend, thank you so much for the blessing there, sowing into my life, thank you so much. What an intro, Jose. Good morning. Are you on Discord? I don't see you here. You're welcome to join us. This thing actually reverted. I'm just sitting here thinking that this thing went back to the high volume again. Interesting. Does it change because we would go outside? Let's have a look. Huh. Didn't do it this time. To have some engine noise, otherwise it sounds off. And there is Jose. Good morning, Jose. Goeiemôre.
Goeiemôre, hoe gaan dit? Morning all.
Goed en jy?
Morning, sir.
Hello.
We've been talking too much. Concentration time.
Morning, Jose.
Morning, John.
Let's climb at max rate. Let's see how many foot per minute we can get out of this bird.
Right, I have the answer to that headwind crosswind component.
Okay.
And this will be interesting because you can do it now. Can you go to your progress page on the FMC?
Yeah. There we go.
Go to page 2.
1,000 to go.
Ah. There's your tailwind. Well, it's currently tailwind. And there's your crosswind from the left, 70 knots. 34 tailwind and 70 knots. And the crosswind.
Interesting.
Oh, that's of interest to you?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Excellent. Good spot. Good find.
And when you are on approach, you would add the headwind component to your reference speed, is that correct?
Yes.
Well, yeah, not the entire thing. You're not going to add 70 knots.
The
But
crosswind would just be a case of it be blowing you, so you dipped your wing
Yeah,
or
wing.
whatever.
yeah. Sorry, I made a mistake of saying 70, but 35 knots. That's also a tailwind. So on a tailwind, you don't want to add too much, but on a headwind, you'll add your 5
Well,
or your 10
that
knots.
would be outside limits of land.
Yeah, you can't land with that anyway. Correct, McTrine.
And I've just discovered there is that latest DEFCON that you put up, the 2015, the fleet of aircraft they've got, there have got 2 different tailwind limits for different aircraft. Some of them are 10 knot tailwind
I've seen.
and some of them are 15.
Yeah, I've seen.
Be worth adding that to some of your tutorials, Nico.
Yeah, for sure. I tell you what, speaking of tutorials, I thoroughly enjoyed doing this tutorial about the autopilot and the takeoff. It took me a whole day to make that 17-minute video, but it was so well worth it.
How many watches have you had?
Over 1,300.
I
most.
was actually. Oh, so it's now your most watched video, is it? I was looking at all the other videos of yours, and 1.2K I thought was the maximum.
Let's have a look. See, we go to analytics.
And
I
is that
may
in
be wrong.
72 hours?
Yeah. Yes, John. So I'm gonna go to the analytics. Let's have a look. It's talking about videos in a certain period. So I'm gonna have to investigate. Oh, lifetime. There's lifetime. I wanted to say where we find the stats more. The Zibo installation video for version 3.29 and the EIDW and Navigraph integration, as well as the installation of the EIDW into the Zibo, and then the tablet tips and tricks, and then the orthos, and then it's the jar design Airbus one, then it's the new installation of the Zibo. Hang on, let me
Ah,
give you a
that was it.
screenshot.
Your ortho one I noticed was very well viewed. Yeah.
I'm going to quickly give you a screenshot, and then you guys can see the top of all times. This is not in a certain period. This is in the whole lifetime of my YouTube channel. So you'll see just now. Better keep my eye on top of descent. There, it's already coming up. So once I've posted this, there you go. 22,831 is the top video. That's the top views. And that was for the Zibo mod installation on version 3.29. It's obviously an old video, but that was a
Nice, very nice.
very popular one.
Makes you must appreciate that your efforts are worthwhile, don't they, when you see figures like that.
Absolutely, absolutely. So while we are now sitting here, yes, Dimitri, yes. I start by loading the X-Vision and then applying the Vivid preset, and then I load the Active Sky textures on top, because the textures, the actual textures that you see is Active Sky textures. Alright, let's quickly look at our approach here. We have obviously changed a few things around. There is the approach. That's the airport over there. So we are going to come from BAGSO directly to Kogax. We're not going to take that little squiggly turn there. We're just going to come directly down to Lampo, and from Lampo we're going to turn onto the ILS. I've also removed the hold at Lampo. We don't need to hold. There's nobody else at that airport today. We bought the whole place out, rented it for the day just for us, so nobody's going to interfere with us, and our height should be okay over there. Then we're going to descend to 2,500 feet to actually intercept the ILS at a MAXEV. That's the waypoint over there. I am going to set it up for as if we're going to do a Cat 3 ILS, because I don't know the weather. Hang on, it's easy enough. Let's check it. No, we don't need that. We can do a Cat 1 ILS. Alright, so on the Cat 1 ILS, our decision height is 402 feet on the barometer. So we're going to go and set up 402 for the minimums. RVR is 550. It looks perfect. I don't see any issues if I look at that meter or the display as it's depicted. So 402, 2,500, and our transition altitude is 5,000 feet, which is fine. We're going to set that, and the go around altitude is 3,000 that we need to set. The rest is just standard. So let's do that. Let's get this going. First thing, just to buy us some time, so I'm going to set the 2,500, intercept that ILS. Aye, too fast. 2,500. Right, so. Hello, Dougal. Right, we can use auto brake too. We don't need to burn the brakes. Right, so here we go. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a reason why you'd have to do a go around, and the only one I've come up with at the moment is the All Ireland Skittles Championship is going on, and they've got the Guinness bottles all lined up on the runway.
Okay. I thought it's that Dawn Black Cat again. Yeah, we'll see when we get there.
So they might be playing Skittles on the runway.
Yeah.
They've run out of room at the venue.
There might be some broken glass. I don't know how strong those Guinness bottles are.
You're getting worse, you are, Mac. Apologies, Lone Ranger.
Hi-yo. Right, what is QNH 1007?
Normally, Amitri, the waypoints, if you actually go to America, they usually, for an approach, when they're putting waypoint names in, they pick a theme.
Yeah, I've noticed that, especially the bigger airports, it's a Disney or a movie theme or a something, you know.
But often they're a local landmark or something like that, and they're in the UK, for example, they tend to be depicted after some local feature.
Alright, so let's do the rest of this planning. I think we did everything. No, we didn't. Okay, we can do it from here. What we need to do is we need to go and check first of all. We need to lose about 400 kilograms, so
yeah, so this is where the winds we were discussing before on the approach.
Well,
do
if
we
you
add 5 or do we add half or whatever the winds are?
the wind there is 210 at 11, but it's 210 gusting up to 26. Alright, so we're going to just start with the basics. 210 at 11 is, I'll just add 5, but if we're going to get gusts and things like that, right, I'll rather add 10. So 148,
yeah.
we're going to say 148, and then we can say plus 10 if we want to. Can't you add it in here? I thought you can. I didn't press.
I think it's in the wind correction.
Yeah, I see when I press the plus minus, it just puts a minus, not a plus. I presume that's it. That's it. Got it. Yeah, it's just the format I needed to get right. Alright, so we've added the 10, so we should be at 158. Then we're going to go to our descent and our forecast. So let's have a look, see what this is all about. 1006.
Pretty heavy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty heavy.
We're gonna hold on to our hats, my friend.
66 360 is the maximum landing weight.
Yeah, let's have a look, see. Right, ISA -9. Alright, then we're gonna go scroll, find our winds. So we need to take 20,000. And then 10,000. Greek.
Just as a thought, Christian, when you input your wind speeds for your arrival airport, as Nico's doing, the FMC is already internally breaking it down into a tailwind and crosswind component for doing the calculations, although you don't see it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
No, not really. But I'll let Nico do his thing, because I know it's crucial. We can discuss that.
No, you guys can talk. I was listening and then I realized I made a mistake, so I switched my hearing off on your side, not listening.
Well, the aircraft works everything out by a crosswind and a tailwind or headwind component. So
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So would you use TopCat, for example, on for landing calculation?
Well, you just use your FMC, like he's saying. You put in your wind direction and wind speed, but when the FMC is calculating your landing VREV, it will convert it so that mathematically it works out a headwind and tailwind component.
Oh, okay, interesting. So it takes into consideration the winds on arrival.
Oh,
It will.
should do.
It
yeah.
does. It does definitely.
That's
It does
fantastic.
definitely. Okay, so yes, you can. Just to answer your other question, yes, you can use, and I obviously use TopCat when I use BFPX to do the landing calculations. And once Zibo is done with his performance calculator inside of the Zibo, then obviously you can use that to do your landing calculations for you. And look at this absolute deviation there. Look, there's your nose. Look at that angle we are flying at. Check. That's skew, man. Yo. Coming back to the other guys on stream here. Dougal, yeah, thank you for just pointing the guys in the correct direction and linking them to my videos. I don't suppose it will be politically correct to actually say that I also get tired of people who don't have the skill and the first thing they do is to badmouth the Zibo. It really gets tiring. It's just, there's times it just gets too much because it just doesn't work that way, but they want to believe it works that way. So anyway, let's fix them up, send them here, let them watch the videos if they want to, and then get some education. Yeah, you won't see it in this version of the flyby, but if you do shift the number 2, you should see it, and we did. So big crab there. Right, the one thing we have not actually done is our frequencies. Let's go to grab our frequencies. And also the course heading needs to be set. That looks fine. Just check our course heading on the FMC 278.
Dougal. That's funny.
Love it.
Well, I have shared this many months ago on one of my streams, so it is captured and on one of my streams saved here on YouTube. But my wife calls my flight simulator the other woman, you know, so in general conversation in our house, she refers to the other woman lots of times. Definitely a beauty. Hello, Ariel. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, you can say your current love affair with Zibo is the fact that the chocolate is freely given.
Yeah.
Because we don't know, is that a coffee or is that a hot chocolate you got besides you?
Oh, this one? No, this is cappuccino. That is cappuccino now.
You better
Get it
ask
going
the
on
mod
chocolate
bloke.
again.
You better ask the bloke who did that mod to do a hot chocolate
Can you-
one.
Can you change? Can you change it? Because I've got a dark black,
Yeah, you
short
can.
black on my one.
Okay.
Oh, but I'd love to know how you can do that if you have a minute. I'm interested to disturb.
I'll see if I can find the link. Hello, George. Absolutely. Thank you for joining us. Let's see if I can find that mod. I've posted it in a few of my streams, but it's always a big hit, you know, when guys get the realization that they can change things like this. So let's quickly see. Please just read the instructions. It's not difficult, but there is a trick to it. You
Sure.
need to remove or delete some files and then replace
Sure.
them with the new ones. So just please read carefully.
Yeah, will do. Thank you.
Thank you, Dimitri. There you go. There's the link on the stream.
Thank you.
Well, tomorrow is Saturday, so unless you are broadcasting some special news report or sports event, I reckon you can sleep in a bit on a Saturday. Ariel, nice to have you here, and thank you. Thanks for being here. I just hope I can land this aircraft in this very gusty windy conditions. You know, we're gonna give it a bash. Let's see.
There's two of us going to try.
Yeah.
Where are you flying to, John?
Same as Nico, Dublin.
Yeah. Awesome. Are you going to fly with in the group flight today? That'll be so cool. By the way, guys, I spoke to Jan from the Zibo team, the one real world pilot, and he said if he can manage it, you know, at some point in time, not necessarily today, but he'd also love to join us on some of the group flights, you know, so then it's going to be some fun we can have with him on board as well. And I mean, being a real world pilot, he's got a lot of knowledge to share, and you know, we can have lots of flying together if we can just manage it. I hope he does. I hope he does. Dougal, you ring the bell. With YouTube, you ring the bell. You have to press the bell. So the moment that I schedule a stream, you're going to get a notification. It comes up on your timeline that it's scheduled, and it also sends an email as far as I know. What do you mean it's turned off on my channel? Can't be. No, that's wrong. That's not right. My bell is on. Yeah, let's see if I see myself as a user. So I'm obviously seeing the back end now.
It works fine, Nico. I always get advised.
Yeah. I suppose it doesn't want to show me the bell that you guys see. I see my own bell, and it's definitely on.
He's quantified why it may be he can't see it.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, no, I'm busy reading all over the place.
He says there's a line through it saying it doesn't work for child content.
But this isn't child content. Hold on. Let's see. Let's edit this. This video isn't. I don't know. I'll have to go look. Look, this is a new piece of legislation that the United States brought in a very short while ago. All right. So I'm going to have to see how I can do a blanket change on my system, because there are 2 or 3 videos that is not for kids, or was marked as such not for kids. So I'm not sure if that influences the score or whatever it is. I don't know. I'll have to investigate. But in theory, I mean, and like Jose says, he gets the notifications. So that brings up a very interesting couple of questions.
Perhaps the word chocolate is considered not child worthy.
I don't know. Ariel, yes, you are correct. It will be one button. I use my left control button on my keyboard for Discord, and then I've obviously got a mapping on my yoke that actually is a different key binding that actually activates the VATSIM client push to talk. So yeah. The wife sabotaging you. She's getting you back. Yeah, I've also read that about the restriction. I'm just surprised it's channel wide. That's the funny thing, because I think in the beginning I had 2 or 3 videos that were marked, you know, incorrectly, obviously, not for kids. Once I started to understand how they do this age thing and how to set it up properly, I obviously changed all my videos afterwards. So anyway, Chris, thank you so much, buddy, for the donation. Much appreciated. Yeah.
There's very seldom any swearing, from my memory.
Yeah, no, very seldom. We try and keep it family friendly. So the way it works is you have to, you've got one of 2 options. Either it's child friendly or it's not. Okay, that's the first 2 options. But the subcategory under the heading of no, it's not for children is then, do you want to block it for the children, or do you want to still allow the kids to see it even though it's not for you know, marked for children, and that's the better option. Obviously, we are not doing any adult related content and nonsense on here, and not too much swearing. So it should be marked first of all in option 1 as not for kids, but secondly it should not block them if they want to see it, you know. So it's a two-tier approach that the guys are using, and let's just figure it out that everybody's happy. Right, well, we're getting closer, we're getting closer. Ah, thank you, Dimitri. Appreciate it.
That's another funny one.
You know what's the worst? I thought about it in the week. I'm gonna call that video about the autopilot, the Zibo autopilot for dummies. And immediately when that thought, you know, went through my mind, I thought, oh shit, I'm gonna offend the hell out of so many people if I, you know, use that title. I better not do it. But it does come through your mind from time to time, you know.
Oh, that's funny.
Guarantee somebody would be
Insulted. Oh yes. Oh no, you can't say that. I'm not a dummy. And yet, I don't know if you guys know that series of books. I mean, there's a whole line of books called For Dummies. You know, and it's everything from car mechanic to computer scientist to freaking cooking. Everything falls under the heading, you know, something for dummies. But anyway.
But it's appropriate.
Yeah. Well, anyway. We live in a very fragile time of the earth, you know. People get offended just way too easy.
Perhaps we could get some tubes of glue and rename them Zibo Fix-It Glue.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, I got a book for my wife. It was called Computers for Dummies.
Yeah, see, that's what it is, man. I mean, there's no reason to get offended.
Ariel, that sums it up, exactly what you just said.
Perspective challenged. Hey, Dougal, yeah. Yeah, Zibo definitely unites us. You know,
Altimeter setting.
we really have guys literally from all over the world. I think if we are honest about it, if we knew who everybody was in the real world and we had to get together in the real world, we'd probably start a war, you know, just by default, just because of where we come from and crap like that. It's sad, man, it's sad. So it's nice to have a intermediate tool, you know, that we can use to unite everybody a little bit and just forget about that crap for a little while, you know, share some love.
Agreed.
I want to tell you guys something else, and I'm not going to mention names. Me and Zibo and other guys obviously, you know, in the team specifically know about this. We've had instances where guys wanted to commit suicide and they sent us notes saying, you know what, I was at the point of doing XYZ and I went home and the first thing I did was switch on the Zibo, and I just want to tell you about it and I just want to thank you for it. And I sit and I think to myself, are you serious? Really?
Wow.
You know, and
crazy.
I mean, it's there. We know about it because the guy sent us the notes. And it's powerful, man. It's powerful to have a tool that you can just cut some crap out of your life and just concentrate on doing something else.
Can I quickly just ask,
Yeah.
which Dublin airport
This is
scenery?
DDG, the new one, the one that's
Right.
fixed.
Have you got the Dublin ports as well?
Yeah, there you can see at the left side.
That's what I was thinking. That's all I was asking.
Yes, sir. And you're welcome.
'Cause that might be of interest because that's different to our previous approaches. For anybody who wants to know the Dublin port scenery, which you overfly roughly on the way into runway 28. There's some nice scenery for it.
You know what I'll do? I'm not going to do it now. I don't have time. What I'm going to do is afterwards I will edit the comments below the video, and I will add the port scenery download in there as well, because I just thought, you know, that's a good place to have it. That's where I list the other two sceneries anyway already, so I'll just add that in there and the guys can have a look see.
Thank you, Nico.
Yeah, there's the bigger pardon guys, there's the port scenery coming into play there. Very, very nice.
Have you changed the vivid, or is you using the same vivid?
No, it's still the same vivid. It's still all the same. Oh. Look at that. I mean, that's cool. Really nice. Right. Okay, look at that wind. 26, 25 knots coming there from 10 o'clock. So gonna have to have our wits about us. See if we can survive.
Yeah,
this.
so this is where we were discussing
Yes.
the winds on approach. You wish to save it at 5 or?
No, I've
plus
got
or
it at
minus,
10. I've got it at plus
at
10.
10.
Yeah.
I think that's a safe
Yes.
place.
Yeah, definitely. Especially with gusts. I see the gusts are not as bad. There are gusts. And you can see there's movement in the cockpit and everything. But it's not as bad. But look there. We've just had a great reduction in speed. Now, if you get too close to VREF and you drop below, I mean, you're in serious risk. So don't go there. It's rather better add a few knots in there. 3,000 for the go around. Lights, camera, action.
1,000 feet, stable.
Please sit down. Let's match our levers here.
Approaching 2A.
In fact, get rid of that one and restart it from the yoke. It makes such a big difference having autopilot control from the yoke now. It's not funny. Dimitri, I don't know, my friend. I really don't know. It's a good question, that one. So at minimums or just before we're gonna just disconnect.
Approaching minimums.
Right, let me just fly it in.
Minimums.
A bit late. I knew that was gonna be hard. Damn it, we bounced. Oh, I flew too late. Sorry, guys. Hope you learned from my mistake. Don't flee too late.
John looks very busy at the moment, so he probably didn't see.
Yeah, no, don't even tell him. No, I can't do with a bad score today. I'm too fragile. Not today, I'm too fragile.
I think JR is going round and round in circles in a hold, hoping that Paul's going to log out.
Listen, I'm listening and I'm watching on everything, so nothing gets past me.
Guys, sorry about the hard landing. Let's call it a test flight for obvious reasons. We were testing the seats and the bounciness of your bones. So you know I can do better than that. But anyway, it was I knew I fled too late. I knew it. I knew it.
Also, your CFG was different to what you normally
Yeah, it's totally
land.
different. But anyway, dentist on board. I think you're gonna need more than a dentist. I mean, probably gonna need an orthodontist or somebody. Some. Anyway, whatever. Um, Chiropractor anyways. Yeah. That's fine, guys. In the flight simulator world, I am filthy, stinking rich. I've got so much money, I can't even count it. So just send the bill. That's fine. We'll sort you out. We'll buy you a new, backbone if we have to. It's one of those things. Sorry, guys. Really. I mean, I'm embarrassed. I'm sitting here blushing, but I can do better than that. It was just a small slip.
We all know you were trying to see how tough the Zibo is.
Yeah, I think that no, that might fly. I don't know.
But there's no scrapes on the tail, so that's one thing.
Yeah, no, we're okay. The only thing that really bothers me, let's actually have a look, see if it is loggable with the Nope, I won't be able to log it. Damn it, that was 617 feet per minute. So I'm just gonna finish. Well, cancel this. I'll have to fly this later on today again just to log it for the VA. Yeah, I'm waiting for my new yoke. Dimitri, thank you. That's a good excuse. I'm waiting for my new yoke. This one is 15 years old. It's tired. It's worn out. It's time for a new one. We'll get there. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Let's just have a look, see how I threw away my good name there. Oh, blinking. Damn it. That's not good, but anyway. Let's have a look, see. There is no excuse for this. This is just shoddy flying. I just fled way too late.
We didn't give you much time to settle into it either, did we?
No,
you
you did. You
talking
did.
right the last 100 feet or something.
Yeah.
Stop sympathising.
It's a contributing factor, but it's all on me. I mean, at the end of the day, I've done this so many thousands of times. I should know better. It's just it happens. I don't think there's.
Exactly, Dougal. It makes us all us less inferior pilots feel better.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us. It
And
happens.
don't worry, John. I'll be watching you shortly.
You think I'm worried?
No, I don't think you are.
I'm still wondering where John's vectoring himself to.
Yeah, who knows?
Well, I'm going to do a little bit of a right turn in a minute, and then I'm going to swing back on myself and go left, and then I'm going to turn right to line up. I'm killing altitude.
Yeah. Okay. Just to let you know, I am watching.
Okay, no problems.
Up until there, I was okay, and then I realized, oh no, that's too much. Then I bounced. Second landing wasn't too bad, but the first one was just horrific. Damn it.
Were you a little late on the flare there?
I said it.
Then?
I said it 3 or 4 times already. Yeah, I was in dream world. I
Yeah.
was not concentrating on that landing. Damn it. Guys, listen.
Put it down to wind. Put it down to wind shear.
Yeah, wind shear. Oh, you know what? Or like Grey Fox is saying, a proper Ryanair landing. I've no real world experience with them, but they say so. Um, you know what? That's part of
No.
my channel, right? I mean, we all
Yeah.
human. We try and keep it real. The last thing I want to do is bullshit anybody and those kind of things. And sorry for the swear word, but I don't want to lie and pretend and be pretentious. We all keeping it real. We all have bad days. We all have good days. And if we can laugh with each other, that to me is important. I want to laugh with, not at somebody, or.
That's a nice view for a snap.
Yeah, it's not bad, not bad, and I didn't even take one.
I was thinking it shows off the new scenery with buildings in the background and that.
Something like that, McTrying, or more zoomed in. Let's see.
See what I mean about the attention to detail? Because I think those buildings on the left at the back there are part of the airport scenery.
It is definitely.
Yeah, it's very nice, Sneaker.
Guys, if you ever have some spare change lying around, you can really put some donations towards DDG. This guy is magnificent with his scenery, and all of his stuff is free that I know. I don't have any single payware, and he's got probably more than 1,000 airports under his name on the org, so you guys can very definitely go have a look.
Wow, yeah, that's a lot of effort.
Yeah, it's over many years. Many years he's put into this, Dimitri. And yes, you're right. We have to laugh at ourselves first. Something I had to learn as well. I used to be a very serious person, and in certain aspects I still am. Don't get me wrong, but not to the point where I'm, gonna chew my arms off with my blunt teeth. It's just I've gone past that now. Grew up a little bit. But look, this is a very nice short flight. I mean, I'll do it a little bit later on, and we're going to definitely then log it, land properly, and log it for the VA. So we are paused, are we? No. What's happening? It looks like Explainers now crashed. It's not doing anything. It is just there. Or let's get out of replay. Sorry, because I took the bar off the top, I didn't realize we're out of replay. Or we're still in replay. We needed to get out of replay. So. Dougal, if you want me to stream it again, I can obviously stream it. I don't mind, but it's not going to be soon. It's going to be an hour or 3 later because I really need sleep. I only had 2.5 hours sleep last night, so I'm feeling very fatigued. I need sleep. And then we'll stream it. And then later on this evening, we're going to have the group flight, which we're going to stream again. And to my memory, if it serves me well, I think it's 1600 Zulu. We'll stream the group flight again, and that will be a US flight, so real time for the US. Yeah. Just hit your watch or your mobile phone quickly for 1600 Zulu. So if I don't make this exact flight today, I'll do it tomorrow again. But I just need to get some rest first. Dimitri, please sleep well. Enjoy yourself. Good night. And anybody else that needs to go as well, you guys, thank you so much for joining us and having fun with us, and we'll check you guys later. I'm just going to continue taxiing. I want to see this new taxiway situation that McDrying's always talking about, so I'm going to taxi to the parking.
I'm waiting for John to land so I can give him a score.
Oh yes, please do tell when he does. Hold on. Bye bye, Dougal. Stay safe yourself as well. Talk later. I need to zoom in on my map here in some toolkit pro so I can see where on earth I'm taxiing. Sorry if it looks erratic, but that's what you get for bad planning. Right, so not the first one, I'll take the second. Turn off here. Hello, Martin.
Approaching 3-4.
I've noticed that the latest update for the Zibo has increased the tolerance for the autopilot.
It's just giving you an option, Christian. You need to set it for real or simply. So if you set it on a real, you've got a 10% tolerance, and if you set it to simply, you get 25%. So that's a difference. The funny thing with that, once he introduced it, I mean, I just always fly like I was taught, and I've got all this experience. I never even noticed that there was something wrong, and then the guy started complaining about it. That's only when I caught on and I realized what Zibo had done, you know. So it was a fun week. The taxi on the left is actually the one. The line on the left is the one that goes around. So this stops here by this parking. So I'm gonna do a crazy thing, and I'm just
You
going to.
just miss the right hand turn.
No.
Yes.
Hold on. I want to see from the top, because according to the map, okay, any one of these are the links. Okay, so well, we'll take.
See where I was on about? There are 3 lanes.
Yes.
There's a
Yes.
centre, right, and a left.
I actually want to be on the right, but anyway, we can use center as well.
But this is where
Okay,
it's all
sorry to disturb.
different to previously.
Yeah. Oh, Christian.
Well,
Oh, you're breaking up.
for the gate.
You're breaking
Can you
up.
hear me?
Yeah, now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I noticed some airliners start the APU once they vacated the active a little bit earlier, and before the gate. Others started at the gate. Unsure whether what the best practice is to start the APU once you vacated the active.
It's an SOP thing, and it depends on the airport. I mean, if you don't need an APU, or if there are noise abatement procedures or noise procedures as such, a lot of airports don't allow you to run the APU more than 5 minutes, or maybe 10 minutes max. So there are a lot of things to consider. If you follow my actual checklist, which I didn't follow this morning because it just didn't happen, you'll see I also say in my checklist that you need to start it once you vacated the runway, because that'll give it ample time to spool up, you know, before you need to use it when you get to the gate. Whereas here in this flight, I only spooled it up now, so I might have to wait a few seconds before it actually comes alive.
So by that, with the air bleeds and all that, like the APU bleed, would you switch it on at just approaching the gate or after the end? So
Well,
I know I'm
where I'm
following.
at now, it's just something I don't know. Again, it's an SOP thing. It's all going to
Yeah.
depend on your carrier, you know, what you do, when you do it. For me, it makes sense to just get the bleeds and everything done now, exactly as I did. So after APU brakes are on, and just before I switch off the engines, I basically do this if I have to.
It's not
Awesome.
just
Thanks. Yeah.
SOPs either. Each individual airfield often has, for noise abatement reasons,
Mm.
etc., particular
But what
limits
I
on
was thinking.
APU usage.
Sorry, what I was thinking is like for the comfort of the passengers, would they not have air conditioning during this time when the AP bleed is on?
No, because I do it before I switch the engines off, I think. So no, look, I mean, from the time that these engines go off until the time that those doors open, you're talking less than 30 seconds or maybe a minute.
Yeah.
You know, it's so fast, it's so quick. But anyway, now the bleeds are set. There is duct pressure. I can actually, if I want to, just leave the packs on, you know, and the circulation fan is on anyway, so there shouldn't be an issue. For me, what I would tend to consider, if this was a real flight, I would consider the temperature, because if it's too cold or too hot, you're either going to sit with very much of a stuffy, very hot, humid,
Yeah.
you know, situation you know, inside of the aircraft, or you're going to sit with guys freezing, and you don't want that. So that's why you would consider when you do this, you know,
Sure.
the changeover. But seeing it's just a you know, a simulation, I suppose we've got artistic license as well to do it when we feel like doing it, if we
I
feel like doing it.
Just as an example, this particular airport, I don't know whether it's all taxi bays or ramp gates yet, but they're all putting in underground electrical distribution. So it's a case if you plug into ground power and underground.
Yeah,
Is,
like that. So there I go to ground power. I don't even need the APU now. I can just switch the APU off because I'm running off the ground
exactly.
power. And
But
we
of
just need to,
course, you haven't got your bleed there.
yeah, yeah.
That's the only thing.
But the doors have been opened for quite some time now anyway. I don't care because they need to get off now. I want to go sleep, you know.
Exactly. No, it's something that Dublin Airport are implementing. They're doing away with all ground power units. It's all underground electric.
Fantastic. That's good news. Right, so let me save my flight. Complete the flight. Yes, thank you. And gentlemen, that is it for me for now. What we will do is, if I have energy, I'll try and do this flight, the specific same one, later on again. Otherwise, tomorrow we can just fix this little landing mishap and log it for the VA. But apart from that, 1600 Zulu, by the sounds of it, we'll do the group flight on VATSIM. You guys are welcome to fly with us, and you are also welcome to just come and talk with us on Discord. You know, just be a big happy family together. So feel free, join us
Just a
either which way.
quick comment. You just mentioned 1600 Zulu. I
Yeah.
thought on the pilot's group he mentioned 1800 Zulu.
Oh yes, correct. Sorry, thank you,
Clarification.
thank you. It's 1800 Zulu. You're 100% correct. I'm seeing 18, and in my mind I'm translating to 6 p.m. local time. So sorry about that. Yes, it's 1800 Zulu. Thank you for trying. Thank you for that. 1800 Zulu. Right, let me run. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Whatever you do in the next couple of hours, enjoy. Be safe.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for
Take
the
care.
stream, Nick.
And thank you for your contribution, Jose and Christian.
Thank you.